Elon Musk has been replaced as the chairman of Tesla, and obviously, to no surprise, this was part of the settlement with SEC. It's a little bit surprising who he was replaced with, but I think everyone's going to be really happy. I know James Murdoch was one of the people that they were considering and talking to. There were rumors, and that would have been a little polarizing. So I'm going to tell you who he or she is, and what it really means for Tesla moving forward, at least for the next 2 years until Elon might jump back in himself. All right, all of this is coming up next. Taking over the world, electrifying the world, electric. Thank you to those of you who are watching me live on Patreon, and welcome to the #1 source of unbiased electric car news. This is what's happening here, and of course, if this is your first time here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button down there. It matches my shirt in color, and it's free, unlike the shirt, which you can find in the description of this video if you want to buy one. Yeah. So that way you won't miss anything. And by the way, let me just mention, happy birthday to my channel. It's been 2 years since I started this channel. It used to be called Everything Tesla, and then I switched to E4Electric as I've noticed that this technology started to grow beyond Tesla. I will spare you my happy birthday song singing. I don't want to lose any subscribers just over that. So thank you for those of you who supported me over the last 2 years on my Patreons and viewers. So thank you so very much for that. All right. Robyn Denholm is the person who is going to be replacing Elon Musk as the chairman of Tesla. Now, she is already on the board, and she's considered to be one of the most independent. There are not that many of them anyway, because it's mainly like, Elon's buddies, investors, and his brother, right? And maybe his dog. I don't know. Could be. So, she's already been considered one of the most independent board members, and now they are making her the chair. Now, she is a CFO of Telstra. Kind of hard to pronounce while you're saying Tesla, but Telstra, it's an Australian telecom company, and she's a CFO there. She worked for, I believe, Santa Clara, where I lived for many, many years, California, and a couple of other pretty big companies. She's pretty well respected. We don't hear much about her because I think she's been not a polarizing figure, which I think why this is actually pretty good. Now, Elon sent out a tweet, and he said, would like to thank Robyn for, by the way, great name for sidekick, right? For joining the team. Great respect. Very much look forward to working together. Okay. Elon, you already been working together with her for 4 years. She's been on the board of directors with you, where you were chairman all this time, for 4 years. So maybe very much look forward to continuing working together. Anyway, I think I know what he meant, but still, it was kind of funny that he phrased it that way. Now, they released the entire big statement from Tesla about welcoming her, and now she is, she's active CFO and of Telstra, and she's going to be quitting there in 6 months, because I mean, you don't just give 2-week notices. This is not Burger King. It's 6 months notice that she's giving to the company so she can do this job fully. And meanwhile, they said that Elon will help her transition into the role. It's kind of a little bit sounded like he's really going to mold her into that, which is kind of the whole point of that not happening. And don't forget, per SEC settlement, they still have to appoint 2 more independent board members, right? So she was made into a chair, but there's still 2 more per that agreement. So all right, so let's talk about what this really means for Tesla, Elon Musk moving forward. Before that, of course, I want to remind you guys that the show and this channel is sponsored by Evanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla, and their color is also matching my shirt and subscribe button. So it's all about red today. All right, there's a discount code in the description of this video if you want to shop there. So have a great time. All right, so let's talk about what's going to happen now. This, just like I mentioned, this is a settlement, SEC settlement about the whole funding secured tweet. We've covered it in many videos now at this point. So I know a lot of you guys have been upset about it. But I gotta tell you, this settlement is probably one of the best things that happened to Tesla, this year, besides the Model 3 ramp up. Um, love him or hate him, and I know a lot of you really, really, really love him, but you have to understand he had made some bad decisions this year. Okay, I know he's been under a lot of pressure and stuff like that, and you can take it or not take it as an excuse, but nevertheless, he admitted it himself now many times. So if you disagree with that, take it up with Elon himself, because he had admitted that in one of the latest interviews as well with Rico, that he regrets quite a few things, and I appreciate that, right? Now there are two things that came down from this SEC settlement that I think is good. One is that on Twitter he won't be able to make, or if he wants to make a statement on Twitter that can, somehow affect the stock, he has to go through a committee that Tesla is going to set up for him, kind of like adult supervision for Twitter. So I think that's great. I think quite a few things that he said. Now there's also a DOJ investigation that really was just ill-advised, right? Just even making a statement about stock during the trading hours without warning NASDAQ. I mean, there's just, so that was one good. But the second one is that, you have to grow a company into, from a small startup into a large company in a certain way, right? There has to be a plan. Yes, being a chairman of the board and a CEO when it's a smaller company, that's perfectly fine. But when the company grows, you do not want your CEO of the company, no matter how big of a genius he is at building cars, no matter how great of a showman he is, you don't want him to be in charge of everything. This is where the board of directors becomes pretty important. And, in his case, he already has a lot of friends and buddies on that board. Having somebody that's independent and having more independent directors that kind of going to be, keeping him in check is just makes more sense, right? Whenever he may be again stressed out and maybe making bad decisions and stuff like that, the board members can actually try to resolve it internally. It definitely makes investors feel much better about investing into the company. One of the Patreons on Hannibal System says, I need one of those committees. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us, including myself, I need a committee like that, right? Before I sometimes type something in. And by the way, this is a chat as I'm streaming live to Patreon. All of this videos are streaming live to Patreon. So, but I just saw a funny comment, so I just wanted to share with you guys. That's pretty cool. So I think overall this is going to be a great. And by the way, she's not a polarizing figure. She sounds like she's been part of the team there. She knows what's up. Obviously, she's behind the vision of the company. So I think this is all good all around. Let also Elon concentrate on other things. I've been a long time ago saying that, hey, maybe even CEO role is a little too much for him. He really can use his talents and showmanship in other parts of obviously Tesla and SpaceX and the Boring Company, but that's not going to happen. Anyway, let me know in the comment section. I'm definitely interested in knowing what you guys think, if you like the choice here or not, if you really just completely 100% think that Elon should have stayed as a chairman. Again, remember, we're here. We want Teslas to succeed, and this is just how this big public companies work, where those two people are separate. By the way, let me give you a quick shout out to one of my newer Patreons who's able to watch me live now, as all my Patreons do, Nicholas. No last name, just Nicholas. I kind of like it. So thank you so much for becoming a Patreon. I know I have a few more to mention, and I'll do it in the next couple of days. Thank you for supporting me. If you are interested in supporting the show, watching me live, watching the extra segments that I do here for my Patreons, go to patreon.com/electric. And if you want to watch me live on YouTube, I do that once a week, and this is kind of a subscriber hangout where we talk about the news that happen. I answer questions, good times, usually lasts for a while, but it's live. So go ahead, and I already posted the next one, so you can set yourself a reminder. For that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and of course click on the bell notification icon so you don't miss those. All right, guys, looking forward to the comments in the comment section. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.